the problem child, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury in Abu Dhabi, live February 26th, 2023. It's happening this Sunday. The press conference just happened. We just saw the highlights. Isaac Diaz, I am always joined by you, but this time we are joined by Andre, the Karate Kid, who is joining us live to tell us all about Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, baby. Here we go. Andre, what do you feel about this fight? The problem child versus the brother of arguably one of the best boxers in history.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In saying Tyson Fury, Tommy's Fury's brother, who is probably 2 looks away from being a model, right? And, we have this guy fighting a YouTuber, right? Who, you know how he puts it. Hey, man, I'm fighting a YouTuber here. We had the press conference just happening. Andre, I'm going to go to you first. What is your take on this fight? And before you say the takes, the odds are Paul is the favorite at -195, while Fury comes in at +165. Andre, take it away.
Man, I think this fight finally makes sense for Jake Paul. One, he's fighting somebody his age, not a UFC fighter or a former UFC fighter that's in their 40s or almost 50s. You know, me personally, this is great because, like, I would give him more respect on beating Tommy Fury than I would him fighting older guys like that. Anderson Silva, you know, he dropped him or whatever in their fight or whatever. But I think this is a much, much better fight, and I think we get a lot of people to put more respect on Jake Paul's name. I gave him respect when it comes to his boxing because he has improved throughout his fight, and it's undeniable. Whether you like what he's, I like what he's doing promotion-wise for boxing itself, but I think this fight makes a lot of sense. I think him being the favorite is still makes a lot of sense. Tommy Fury, to me, I saw him fight a couple of times. Just finished watching the highlight from him. From his last fight, and he don't impress me. He does keep his head on the center line, and I think for Jake Paul, when he boxes, he does have a nice little jab. He fights really uptight, so I think, and he likes to throw that overhand right. So I think for Jake Paul, eventually, I feel like he will land the overhand right.
And I'm glad that you're mentioning, sorry to cut you off, I'm glad you're mentioning the fights and how you think the fight is going to play out, and we're going to get there. And Isaac, I wanted to get your take on the highlights today and what you saw, what you think is going to transpire live in Abu Dhabi.
I'll tell you one thing about Jake Paul. I'm done doubting him. Look, just the Paul brothers. These guys are innovators. These guys could get into any sport and be amazing. They were actually born and bred in wrestling. So these people are athletes. Everybody thinks he's a YouTuber, he's a bum. No, they're athletes. These people have been athletes all their life. They've been competing all their life. These are naturally bred competitors. So when I saw today's conference, Jake Paul is doing what Jake Paul does best, and that's getting into the mind of his opponent. No one does it better because he's young, he's a troll. So this is just natural. Young people know how to troll and how to get in the mind of people. But I do think I'm very surprised actually with the odds here. I would say the more natural boxer, I would say it's Tommy. Because even when I'm looking at the opponents of Jake Paul, come on. Anderson Silva, the brother's pushing 50. Tyron Woodley, really a 5'8" MMA fighter? I even heard that the backup fighter to this was Perry, Platinum Perry.
Platinum Mike Perry was
5'10", 170-pounder. So this is the biggest test yet. And one thing I loved about the conference was Jake Paul told Tommy, so you think you can beat me? If you can, put all your money on the line. It's all for grabs. And he said, listen, this was crazy. I heard Tommy Fury's dad, which is obviously Tyson Fury's father as well, which is his coach. He said, deal. So this is what's for
John Fury.
Yes,
John Fury.
Winner takes all, guys. If Jake Paul pulls out this win, he will be able to take all of Tommy Fury's money, which essentially means he's fighting for free. Now, if Jake Paul wins, then Jake Paul loses, he will pay double to Tommy Fury. So I love that. The stakes have been raised.
Oh yeah.
And this is the best competition I think we're going to see for Jake Paul ahead this Sunday.
Andre, and you were mentioning how the fight was going to play out and what you think is going to transpire on February 26th. What is your take on both fighters and their capabilities in the ring?
Um, like I mentioned before, Jake Paul has a really good overhand right, a decent jab, which he's gonna need against Tommy Fury because I believe with all the talking smack and the years building up to this fight, 'cause they tried to do it before it didn't happen. It's finally
Right.
happening now, and Tommy, although he's not impressive, he got good speed and he got some decent power himself.
Mhm.
So like I said, I respect Jake Paul for even just stepping in there, against somebody his age. Finally, and Jake Paul knows that if he can beat Tommy Fury, a true boxer who was born into it, will put a lot of weight on his name when it comes to boxing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the boxing like the WBCs, one of those title belts. I think if he beats Tommy Fury, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that he might get ranked in boxing
Wow.
for beating Tommy Fury.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Would be a big thing for Jake Paul. Um, I think, like I said, this fight makes a lot of sense, and I really hope that Tommy Fury puts an end to the whole Jake Paul thing. But if he doesn't, then you know, there's no ifs, ands, or but about Jake Paul being a boxer. Like Isaac said, they were wrestlers. They did wrestling, so that I do give them. And they sparred, and Jake has done a lot for not just the guys boxing, but for women boxing too. So I give it up.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. And I think for me it's yeah, there are athletes, and how Isaac started saying it is doubting I'm done doubting him.
Yeah.
I just saw Logan Paul at the Elimination Chamber doing a front roll into the ring to hit Seth Rollins and stuff. Like, that's impressive. To
Seriously.
me, like, that's pretty impressive. Like, I know I can't pull that off.
Mhm.
I know there's probably a lot of wrestlers that probably can't even pull that
Mhm.
off. A lot of athletes, obviously his brother's coming into this boxing world, and obviously he has the money, he has the inertia and all that and stuff, and the swag and stuff to afford all these boxing trainers. So of course, you're gonna take, even if you're the worst like striker and stuff, if you're taking striking classes from one of the best striking coaches out there, you're gonna learn something,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You're gonna have some sort of a skill. You know what I mean? We have so many people that have been in the MMA world who have come in and tried this boxing thing. We have the Game Bred boxing, which is happening soon, right? With a huge, amazing card. We went over that,
Mhm.
right? But we're having an actual boxer coming in this time who is born and raised. This is what he does. I love their story. I love especially Tyson's story, who's coming in, from nothing, literally from nothing. These guys had nothing, coming in to having what they have now, obviously. And his brother was just right there, right beside him. So I'm excited to watch the fight. Now let's go for the predictions. Isaac, I'm going to go to you first. You heard the odds. You heard Andre's takes on it, and you've seen the highlights. You've seen the fights. Who do you have this Sunday night in Abu Dhabi?
Oh man, I'm gonna stick to the hype train, man. I'm going Jake Paul, and I'm actually going Jake Paul. Listen to this. I'm going Jake Paul by knockout, 5th round. Now,
Jake Paul by knockout,
on
fifth
the
round.
5th round. But I don't know if you guys know this as well. The WBC has made a belt for this fight, so it will actually be a WBC title fight.
Wow. Andre, you heard it. Round 5 knockout. Andre, who do you have?
I say, Paul. Fury never been to 8th round or anywhere near that. I think he's only done like 6. So I think, like Jake Paul said in the press conference, to take him to deep waters. And I think that he can do that unless Tommy Fury just comes out guns blazing and trying to get the knockout.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I said, it's an interesting fight. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Tommy. I really hope that he pulls the upset in a way against Jake Paul. Like I just want to see how Jake Paul will handle a loss and see how that'll. It probably won't hurt him either way because he don't care. But I definitely want to see. And I hope I'm gonna take the person that's been doing boxing for years or been in that world for years. And I really hope that he pulls it off because if he doesn't, it's just gonna be a cold world for him.
And one more thing, Hyro. I heard in the press conference, Tommy Fury was like, "Hey, go back to your wherever place you come from in the States, Ohio." And I'm sorry, I literally heard Jake Paul say, "I'm from Puerto Rico." Dude, I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican. You're not from Puerto Rico.
Yeah. He's not from Puerto Rico. Yeah, they live in Puerto
Right.
Rico.
You trained
to evade
there.
taxes.
Right.
To evade taxes.
Right.
So let's just say that, right?
And look, maybe he could say, "I fight out of Puerto Rico." Bro, you ain't Puerto Rican, bro. You're from the suburbs.
You ain't Puerto Rican, my
Stop
brother.
it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, you're from literally suburban
Seriously.
Ohio. We know that.
Seriously, bro.
Yeah.
But
well, guys.
But I'll tell you
go
one
ahead.
last thing. I believe 100% he's going to take Tommy into deep waters, but this is what's going to get Tommy. The pressure from his bloodline. He has a brother and a father who have made such a big impact in boxing. He needs to now live up to that. Not just the pressure of that. Now the new contract that was signed for the winner takes all. And also number 3, bro, I'm telling you, do not sleep on Jake Paul's overhand right. This thing, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, he has natural born power. You can't teach that.
It's happening live this Sunday, February 26th, from the Diriyah Arena in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, right? Just Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that's it. But it's happening live in pay-per-view. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Here we go, baby. I'll see you next time.
Alhamdulillah. Peace.